But I'll take you to a day in 2004 when I'm sitting in my office, minding my own business, seeing if we can try to end this 86-year haunting quest for a world championship. And we were going to have our 3rd annual Red Sox radio telethon for the Jimmy Fund with WEEI and Nesson. And into my office comes Karen Cummings, I believe it was, from the Jimmy Fund, who did publicity work. And she said, look, I know you're really particular about who sings the national anthem at Fenway. Yeah, we are. She says, but for the radio telethon, I have a 4-year-old boy at the Jimmy Fund who can sing the anthem. Would you consider that? I said, if you got a 4-year-old boy who can sing the anthem, he can sing the anthem. So there's not exactly a quality control test you're going to run in this case. This is not, you know, The Voice. And on that August day, out comes this little guy with leg braces on his, on his legs and not moving that easily, and he kind of wends his way through a somewhat interpretive national anthem. And crusty, critical, cynical folks like our morning radio hosts are sitting there, and John Dennis says, "Good job, doctor." And you couldn't help but be moved by this little boy's inspiring performance. So 2 people who were moved on that day were Peter and Bobby Farrelly, who were in the process of making their movie, A Valentine About Us, called Fever Pitch, with Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore. And they said, could he do that again? Can you have him do that on another day that we're going to simulate? We're going to pretend in the movie as opening day? So, fine. Out in September, maybe September 4th, here he comes, sings again. Great job. Well, now we're headed into October, and you know, everyone knows it's going to end in some kind of heartbreaking defeat. And in fact, the Fever Pitch script acknowledged that, and you know, it's not like you're going to write a script that we're going to win the World Series, you know. And we're in the American League Championship Series against the Yankees, and Game 3, we lose 19-8. We're down 3-0. And I just wanted us to win one more game, just win one game, so that we didn't have a drunk, angry crowd at Fenway Park after a 4-game sweep that would be the definition of an ignominious defeat. And we had the Cowsills sing the anthem on Game 3, and we had the Kingston Trio, who had done the old song Charlie on the MTA. They had flown in to do Game 4. Now, you don't know if there's going to be a Game 5. So it's hard to get artists to fly in from elsewhere when you don't know till the end of Game 4 whether there is a Game 5. But there in the bullpen was our little guy, who by now you may know as Jordan Leandre. And so we do win Game 4. Okay, Jordan, you're on. And here he sings Game 5, and we win again. And you don't know, that might be the last game of the season, because that you're going to see at Fenway Park, because we're still down and we're still headed to New York. And you know the rest of the story. So we win the World Series. They did have to rewrite the script on Fever Pitch. They did. A year goes by, and it's November of 2005. And November's the worst month on the baseball calendar. It's the one furthest away from baseball. And November in Boston is no piece of cake. It's cold, and it's gray, and it's raw, and the clouds are thick, and not much is going on. And it was a tense time in our office at that time in November of 2005. That was when Larry and Theo had split. Theo was gone. And nothing was going on at Fenway. It was down to its barest of bones. It was not dressed for any occasion. And what's even worse on a November day like that is you're in a budget meeting. Oh, God. In the bowels of the ballpark. You know, so accounting's trying to tell you why you can't spend the money that you want to spend. Okay. So you emerge from that in a subterranean conference room, and I walk up the stairs to 4 Yawkey Way, to the entrance, and who's there but Jordan and his mom and his dad and one of our Fenway ambassadors who had kept in touch with him. I said, "Hi, Jordan." "Hi. How are you?" "Fine." I said, "What brings you to Fenway today?" And his dad said, "Well, we were going in for 6 hours of treatment today, and we wanted to make it a good day, so we thought we would visit Fenway Park." And you realize that Fenway, in its barest of bones on the coldest of days with nothing happening, is still the definition of a good day for this little boy. "Are we going to re-sign Kevin Millar?" he says to me, because that's what's on his mind. I said, "I don't know." "Well, if we do, tell him not to strike out so much. Tell him to hit home runs like Big Papi." Got it. Down the steps from the second floor comes my friend and colleague and my partner in many of our orchestrations, Sarah McKenna. And she's got her phone in her ear. And in addition to doing the ceremonies, which is how she knows Jordan, she also takes care of the players' wives. So she's walking down the steps talking. She goes, "Hi, Jordan." He goes, "Hi." And in the phone she goes, "Yeah. How are you?" "Good." "He's good." "Oh, that would be great. He's home?" "Yeah, hold on." That's all we know. And she hands her phone to Jordan, who goes, "Hello?" "Hi, Papi. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm listening." I promise, Papi." "Papi, are we going to re-sign Millar?" "Well, if we do, tell him not to strike out so much. Tell him to hit more home runs like you do." Bye, Papi. 5 people saw that, you know? For all that we do that's in the spotlight, that's on television, nobody saw this except those, 5 people who were there. And it just moves you. And you don't know how the story's going to go. So 5 months later, it's March of 2006, and there's Jordan. 4 months later, February 2006. I'm at spring training, and I have an idea for opening day. So I go to David Ortiz. I said, "David, you know our little friend Jordan from the Jimmy Fund?" He goes, "Yeah, is he okay?" I said, yeah, he's doing fine. I said, "But I've never asked him to sing the anthem on opening day." And I was thinking of doing that. But I was thinking that it would be cool if you would hold him while he sang the anthem. He goes, "I can do that." But alas, he couldn't do that, because by opening day of 2006, Jordan was in an 80-pound body cast. So instead, in a wheelchair, he is escorted to the first base line by David Ortiz, who places him between himself and I believe Manny Ramirez, so that with our whole team lined up on the first base line, there's Jordan once again wending his way through his traditional, unique version of the anthem. 4 months later, it's August of 2006, it's time for our annual radio telethon. And Jordan's still in a wheelchair. And his escort, once again, is David Ortiz, who now takes him through the clubhouse in the wheelchair. So you've got big, strong, healthy David Ortiz and this vulnerable little boy who is meeting, and I know somewhere we have this picture, our 21-year-old rookie who's having a great year as a pitcher. Handsome, big, strong 21-year-old. So 2 Adonises with this vulnerable little boy. And 3 months later, well, a couple weeks later, David Ortiz is in the hospital with chest pains that fortunately resolve. And our other Adonis, the 21-year-old left-handed pitcher, is diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And that, of course, is John Lester. And in November, on another cold, gray day, I get an envelope delivered to me at Fenway Park, big manila envelope, and in it is a piece of paper. It's a folded piece of loose leaf paper. On the outside it says, "Get well, John," and on the inside, in purple crayon, on the left-hand panel, are two baseball players, stick figures. One's a pitcher, one's a hitter. The hitter has just struck out, you can tell. And if you can't tell, there's a K underneath to help you. And on the right panel are two small black and white passport-style headshots. One of Jordan in 2004 with no hair, and one of Jordan in 2006 with hair, with his handwritten caption, "You can do it too." So now your little vulnerable child is inspiring your 21-year-old pitcher. Now, 5 months later, it's March of 2007, and there's Jordan down at spring training. I said, "Hi, Jordan, how are you?" "Good. I'm going to play Little League." And your heart breaks because you actually realize that he believes he's going to do that. So you recover and you go, "Oh, what position are you going to play?" "Shortstop, maybe left field." "How do I go get him, Jordan?" And it's heartwarming that he believes. You just have your own doubts. And 5 months later, it's time. It's August. It's time for our annual radio telethon. On this day, in 2007, we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of our 1967 American League champions, who not only captured a community, but donated a share of their World Series earnings to the Jimmy Fund. And so they're out there on the field as we have little Jordan come perform the anthem. Only this time, for the first time, he's walking under his own power. And I think Mike Andrews whispered something to him. And on Home of the Brave, and you can watch this on YouTube, Jordan takes off in his own mad dash around the bases with a 1,000-watt smile, and your 1967 team is catching him, greeting him at home plate. And you go, "Wow, this is good."